Welcome back, everybody. I'm Keith Urban, and you have made it to day 6. Day 6 of our 30 Songs in 30 Days lesson series. Today, we're going to learn to play a powerhouse rock song, Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. Now, this song's got a fun intro riff. We can do this a few different ways. We can play a very simple way of doing it. We could make it intricate. One of the things I want to say before we get much further, and I want to preface this, if you come to this DVD to learn how to play Dead or Alive fully, this is not it, because we're only on day 6. So it has this descending acoustic intro. We're not going to learn that today. We're going to keep it pretty simple because we're just figuring out how to play this thing at this point. So we're going to forget all this descending 12-string intro thing that's on the record and start more in this area that's like... That's the part of the song we're going to start on right there. We're going to learn some bar chords. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's get started. Now, as I've said, when I first started playing the guitar, I began noticing some patterns. For example, I started seeing how the same shape can be played on other frets to make different chords. The best example of this is the bar chord. So this far, we've been playing a whole lot of open chords, like the G. This is my version of the G. C. And E. Now, bar chord is different because it requires that you press your fingers down on all the strings at the same time. And to learn our first bar chord, we're going to start with something you've seen before. It's the E chord. Working from the high strings down, we have the first and second strings. They're played open, right there. Now, your first finger is on the 3rd string, 1st fret. Your 3rd finger is on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Then your 2nd finger is on the 5th string, 2nd fret, right there, stacked on top of it, right there. 6th string is played open, because that's an E. That's E, okay? Now let's do that again, but instead of using your first 3 fingers, that's these ones here, we just played the E like that with these first 3, we're going to use the last 3 fingers to play the E shape, okay? You just use these fingers instead. And here's what it looks like, again, going from the high strings to the lowest. Once again, these 2 are open. Now your 2nd finger is going to go on the 3rd string, right there. Okay? Your 4th finger is on the 4th string, 2nd fret, right there. And your 3rd finger is on the 5th string, 2nd fret. So it's stacked on top right here. Here. 6 strings open. Okay, sounds the same, right? It's the original way. Here's the back 3 fingers. This will feel a little strange at first, so just take your time with this. It's no rush. Now, the reason why this particular way of playing this chord is so important, because what it's done is it's freed up this finger right here. The first finger is now free to play a bar chord. Check this out. Right now, it's just open. Now, if we move this up 1 fret, the whole thing like this, boom. Put this first finger across all these strings. This is tricky to do, but just take your time. Here's E, slide it up 1, and now put this finger across all of these. And if you can press down, this is the chord it'll make. E. Add the bar chord, slide 1. That now is F. Can you believe it? That's an F bar chord. When you get this figured out, this is going to be a huge breakthrough, because this shape can be slid all up and down this guitar to make a whole bunch of chords, and you never change the shape of your hand. F. Slide it up 1. F sharp, G, G sharp, and so on and so on and so on. This shape never changes. Look at that. You literally just move it up. It'll take a bit of practice. So please, again, I keep saying, take your time. There's no rush. But the great thing is when you get this, you're gonna get to play so many chords. F bar chord. Now, just take it slow because this is hard to play. This particular shape, that particular bar chord, is hard to play. Getting these strings to ring out with one finger, that's going to take a little bit of practice because it'll probably sound like this for a while. And if it sounds like that, don't worry. You're on the road to getting there. Maybe you can also do this thing. You just like play it a bit, try and press harder using this one finger. The more you come back to it, your hand's going to get this muscle memory. It's a big part of what we're doing here. Your hand's learning everything new. So all of your muscles are going, what is that chord? What's that shape? What's going on? You know, the mind's trying to remember all this stuff. Your muscles are trying to get strong enough to learn this new thing they're being asked to do. So just take it easy. Be easy on yourself and take your time with it. It's going to start to come after a little while. So there's F. We move it up, G, A, and we keep going all the way up the neck. It gets a little easier as you come up here because the strings are a little bit closer to the neck up here, and also the position of the hand's a little easier. You're under here. Down here, it's a little tricky. So stay with it though. One more thing I want to point out before we're done here. Now, as I said, there's many ways to play the same chord. They all sound slightly different. Now, if you slide up to that A again, this is F, G, there's A, right? You may be saying to yourself, I already know A, and you do. You know the A in the open position, or there's so many ways to play A major. But that's A major in the open position. This is the A major in the bar chord. You see, they basically sound the same. The same holds true for other chords too. We already know our G chord. You can also play that as a bar chord. Same for C, C. C bar chord is way up here, right up there. There's one last move we need to learn before we get into Dead or Alive, and it revolves around some changes that we'll make to our D chord. Right there, remember the D chord? This is it. Now, we can play around with this first string in order to change the tone of the chord, or the shape of the chord. If you add your pinky here, on the 3rd fret, that's making a D sus right there, really a D sus 4. And again, it's hard to press these down and get it nice and clean, but just take your time. But with this one simple finger move, you're changing the chord. Let's try another inversion. Play your D chord again, and now lift the middle finger off the string. Simple as this. Take it off. Now, also, I want to point this out because this happened to me a lot. When you're taking fingers off, sometimes other fingers come off because your mind's got to separate these things down here. Don't worry about that. That happened to me all the time when I started. Instead of doing this, it would end up like this. Ah, ah, and a bunch of fingers would come off when I'm saying, just that one, just that one. Slow down. Your mind is learning everything, how to coordinate, what you want your fingers to do and what they do. That takes a little while, but you'll get it. When you get these, you're doing a lot with very, very little movement. That's a huge breakthrough. Look. Technically, you're making 3 different chords with the tiniest movements. D sus 4, D major, D sus 2. Fantastic. Okay, let's get to the song. Dead or Alive's got a fairly slow tempo, but it has that really fun intro. And when we say intro, for the point of this exercise on day 6, is we're going to start the intro meaning this bit. instead of all this stuff up here, right? We'll call this our intro. It also has a verse, a chorus, and a bridge. And mixed in all that is another riff. Let's start with the riff at the intro. So here's the intro as we're going to play it today. We start with our D chord. Our first move is to hit the 5th string open. That's this one here. We'll do that twice, meaning 1, 2. Then use your 2nd finger and place it on the 3rd fret, 5th string, right there. Like this. 1, 2, dum. Again. 1, 2, dum. Next, you hit the 4th string open once. Then use your 2nd finger again to hit the 3rd fret on the 4th string. Then strum the 4th string open. I put a little bend in there, but you don't have to do that. If that sounds complicated, this is what it sounds like. Right? 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. And if you put a little bend in there, it's... Then we land on the D chord, you see? So... Start with your D chord, then add your pinky on the 3rd fret, meaning this. There's the D. And then if you add the pinky, there's that D sus. Then you can lift up the pinky and strum your traditional D. Like that. Okay? Now, if you lift up your 2nd finger on the 1st string and keep it open, it's like this. There you go, look. That's D sus 2. And if you add your pinky and end with D, it's like this. So we're trying to get these all put together like this. D, D sus, D, D sus 2. And you do it like this. Da, 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 da. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get it that quick as far as the moves. They take a little practice, but... One more time. Okay. And once we have our riffs down, we can move to the verse. And here's how it goes. 2 beats on D, then our D riff. Next part is 2 beats on C. I like this version of it. 2 beats on C, 2 beats on G, 2 beats on C again, 2 beats on G, and then we finish up with the 2 beats on F, bar chord F, back to D, 2 beats on D. Now I know it's a lot, so let's keep it slow and hear it all together. 2, 3, 4. All the same. Only the names change every day. F, stand away. You got it. Other place. Faces are so cold. C, G, back to F, D. Excellent. For the chorus, we use the same chords as the verse, just in a slightly different order. And here's the first part. 2 beats on C, 1, 2, 2 beats on G, F, 2 beats, 1, 2, 2 beats on D. Here's the second part. 2 beats on C, 2 beats on G, then our riff. The best way to remember the timing for that is it's in the lyric. Dead or alive. It's the best way to remember that. Dead or alive, 'cause I'm a wanted. Dead or alive. Just like that. So let's pull it all together. First, you got the intro riff repeated 4 times. Next, you got the verse, a chorus, then a verse again, another chorus, and remember to take your time. Play the song in sections. It's the best way to remember.
Hey y'all, this is Dead or Alive. It's all the same, only the names have changed. Every day, it seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's not for days. And the people I meet always go their separate ways. Sometimes they tell the day by the bottle that you drink. And the times that you're alone, all you do is think. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, wanted, dead or alive. Rock and roll, guys.